What's going on, boys and girls? We're here with another reaction video. This one is something that caught my eye. Linux gave me a new life, no college. That interested me because I've done a lot of negative videos lately that have made me want to bang my head against the wall. So I was looking for something positive. Now I'm hoping that this is just that, something fucking positive. So I'm going to listen to this guy and see what he's got to say. So let's roll into it. I probably won't have much to say. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to let him talk for a while, so you might not be getting any of my swear-laden normal commentary with this as much because it's more of a positive thing.
Lights. There we go. Now you can see me instead of just the darkness. I've been moving into this new apartment. You can see there's a little bit of junk behind me. Like, I do need to clean that up a little bit, but it's not, you know, it's like that's what's left. Everything else is kind of organized. You know how it is moving into a new house. And I just got done with this major project because I do some server development. I don't know if you know this, but a friend in America just called me and he said, I need to get back to college, and if anyone can help me co-sign a loan so I can finish school, you know, please do. And I said, well, if I had the money to do that, I'd just give it to you, man. And this is kind of a friend. Like,
I just want to make a quick note on that particular commentary. I think it's fucking absurd that some people end up paying almost $200,000 for 4 years of college. Talk about making a fucking barrier to entry so people can grow. I just want to make a side note, though. The piece of paper don't mean shit at the end of the day. How many people you know with college degrees that are flipping burgers? How many people with college degrees are asking, how do you want fucking fries with that? A lot more than you think. A lot of it's not just about the college degree. It's about whether or not you have something to show with it. You can have all the college degrees you want, but if you don't show enough drive and enough ambition to actually get involved in something, your college degree don't mean shit.
I don't want to go into too many details, but kind of a good friend. I've known him for a long time. And I said, but just, I got a better idea. Teach yourself Linux. You know, like, learn Linux. And I sent him a link to an article. I'm going to put.
To which, that point, I 100% agree. Self-motivation, self-taught is not to be stigmatized. Being self-taught and all this other stuff doesn't put you in a lesser category than the homeboy with a Harvard degree and 4 years at Harvard or MIT. It just means you had a different path to the same fucking outcome. And your knowledge isn't just from a fucking book. It's actually practical, more than likely. There are so many ways to get involved in open source now that it's better to have work that you can show in a portfolio than just a fucking piece of paper that says you graduated from this Ivy League.
That I don't know, maybe somewhere. It was this, it's an article about the, you know what? Fine. Let's see if I can can I.
And I apologize for the stutter. It seems to be in the actual video, not on my recording. Just saying. As far as this guy's video.
Can I find the article and do a screen share? I might be able to. I'm gonna see what I can do. Opening it up. Why not show you what I'm doing? Right. Okay. Let's go here. Waiting for the internet. Waiting for the internet. Waiting for the internet. Still waiting. Okay, found the article, and I'm switching you to full screen mode, and I am now going to go do the second monitor. Here, I'm going to turn this off. Oh, that's a podcast weekly. Why isn't my second monitor? Oh, there's my second monitor. You're not loading. Oh, there it is. It's okay. This is the article. Moving from Ubuntu, or moving from Windows to Ubuntu. He talks about, you know, stuff is like, you know, like this is a screenshot of what Ubuntu kind of looks like. He says, you know, like, not everything's perfect, of course. Anyhow, but he talks about how a lot of people are used to Windows. Oh, this. Who does this on their website? Seriously, grow up. That's not marketing. That's like low level. That's not like a quality marketer. That's like, that guy could have a lot of money, but it's not quality. Okay, so you saw the article. So moving from Windows to Ubuntu. I highly recommend the article. I moved from Windows to Linux. Here's some lessons learned. And it's all good stuff. You know, Windows, people use Windows because it comes with every PC. You knew it growing up. You don't.
Just as a note, it doesn't matter when the article is made, but that was posted over a year ago. Things do evolve and change, especially in open source and Linux. Things are a wee bit different.
This is a really key thing. Okay, Mac OS aside, okay, you barely see non-Windows users, so you're not exposed to an alternative. Therefore, most of the people think Windows is the only alternative for running their desktop PC. Here it says on here, as a Windows user who hasn't experienced any other operating system, you sometimes tend to not even think of the possibilities that you don't have.
And that's because of lack of marketing by Linux distributions. It's just like, oh, I don't know, the fucking Linux Foundation that should be pushing desktop Linux, but it doesn't. Distro makers, take your pick. There are a lot of people to blame for the lack of marketing. And our own community has developed kind of its own fucking stigma about how it treats new users, unfortunately.
That's it. That's what that's so. I sent him that little article, and you can search for it and find it. Where was it? Fine, I'll find. That was at codingstartups.com, spelled correctly, one word. Moving from Windows to Ubuntu, lessons learned. Moved Windows Linux lessons learned. I think there's some keywords there. So I wrote in this, I said, learn Linux. You can run your own servers, and that's a way to make money. You can help a lot of people. You could get jobs, go to Stack Overflow, learn answers to questions, answer questions, become famous there. That's like a resume sort of thing. You don't need college for it. You need to study it, but you don't need college for it.
And that's the difference. Self-seeking knowledge, I have found stuff that interests you and stuff that you want to make better for yourself. It's all about finding the information. You don't need to be spoon-fed the information. It's about a willingness to want to learn the stuff that you're interested in. Whatever field that is. Whatever X, Y, or Z that may be. And that is the biggest thing that I've found with a lot of people that do go to college. How many times do they switch their majors? How many times do they switch their minors? How many go in for liberal arts and come out with a liberal arts because they don't know what the fuck they want? And I'm not slagging on anybody that goes to college. More power to you. You want that, Bill? That's your fucking prerogative. My take on that is what you gain in college does not necessarily always apply to everybody. That structure of learning does not work for people. You have more people who are more hands-on. There are other people who are abstract learners. There are other ways to learn that don't fit the college mold of notes, class, homework, etc. We all have different ways of critical thinking. And that's really what it boils down to. So yeah, and there are different things that allow you to get those Linux credentials and help you learn in Linux specifically. Linux Academy is one of them. Udemy is another one. Stack Overflow. There are a lot of tools and classes and that kind of stuff available to help you get those certifications and stuff for those places that really want the piece of paper. But you have something better than the piece of paper. You have the actual practical knowledge showing them that you have done it yourself and on your own drive. And to me, that's a whole lot different. It actually means a whole lot more because it goes to show you're willing to take initiative. And in the business world, initiative is a hard thing to find. So that's kind of my take on that. So good on you. I definitely am feeling this video. And And definitely get involved on Linux. You don't need to just run your own servers. You can get involved in projects and coding and however you want. You know, there's people that I know like Wendy. She's started out as just small contributions to Ubuntu. Now she's helping work on coding and some other stuff with the UI and making stuff look better for Ubuntu. Like you fall into things more than you will realize. So let's finish up this video.
Well, I had done that myself, and I had this software that I've written, and I'm going to put that out in various. I've got different YouTube channels. On the YouTube channel dedicated to my software company, I'm going to be doing my first little town hall meeting soon. Yay. I just finished this major overhaul of my software and updating my servers and getting my clients moved from an old version of my software to the new one. And I'll tell you, it was like moving water from a 50-gallon drum into another 50-gallon drum using pipes that were held together with duct tape and that wouldn't always hold, and I had to sit there and hold it, moving them from my old system to my new system. And then I had to do my main servers. After I did my customers, I had to do my main servers, and that's like moving it from a 500-gallon barrel into a 500-gallon barrel using stuff that was improved, but I'm exhausted. It was like 30 hours of exhaustion. And my software is better. I'm a better person. And having that big thing out of the way. The thing is, when you're doing a software project, sometimes you got to sit down for a long time. Not always. And if you can find a way to make it so you can do it in 10-minute chunks, that's awesome. But, you know, looking at the whole view, it's like, I need 15 hours to do this. And so I do these marathons where it's all in my head and I know what I'm doing. And if I stop, then I lose it all and I don't know where I am. I finished it. I got 2 10-hour marathons out of the way and I'm done. And I finished last night. I went to the skate park and I was like, what am I going to do now? Like, I got this thing done that I didn't think was going to get done until next year. So my life, it's a big, and so I guess the moral of the story is there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There you go. Learn Linux. There's a light at the end of the tunnel if you do. This has been a great little stream session here. I might do more of them.
And with that, he is right. I think Linux has lowered the barrier to entry. It has made coding and the tools needed for coding accessible to a majority of people, which is great. Be it, where those codes come, those keys and all that stuff come from, be it companies or individuals or whatever. The source doesn't matter. It's made things more accessible. And just because there's a lower barrier to entry doesn't mean you can't contribute either. There are so many ways to contribute to Linux, open source. So Linux can give you a career. You just have to be willing to learn and actually apply that knowledge and seek that knowledge out. Because really that, at the end of the day, is the key. How much you want to learn and how much do you want to seek that knowledge out? And what's your goal? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the destination is important. How you get there, it's a little more important though. So you guys know what to do. Rate it, subscribe. Peace.